Hey, kia ora everyone, it's Chris and Sam here from Bayleys. So Happy New Year, and let's talk about the property market. So Sam, topic for this video, 2026, is this the year for the property market?
Yeah, well, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, cool. I guess like 2025, quick review, right? So had a couple of challenges in the market. We had high supply of homes for sale. That price expectation gap between vendors and buyers was pretty persistent, then a little bit of geopolitical craziness. Positive though was that we had the OCR come down to 2.25%, interest rates generally lower and a lot more confidence in the market. So it's kind of starting in a good spot relative to the last sort of 2 years. But Sam, we surveyed our agents end of last year just to get a sense around how they're seeing things. What do we see from that?
Yeah, so one of the questions that we asked are how are market conditions in your market right now? And in the residential market, 71% of our agents are reporting neutral market conditions, which is positive. And in commercial sales, 64% are reporting neutral conditions. So pretty promising. And then we asked them how are market conditions changing, and a lot of them, or majority of them, are pushing towards it being a stronger market, or it's getting stronger. 52% in residential and 44% in commercial.
Yeah, so that's quite promising, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and off the back of that, sort of what's our assessment right now about the outlook for 2026?
Yeah, so what we think, probably more sales activities be seen compared to last year, and prices to move sideways though, just because we've got lower interest rates, but also high stock in market, so those two kind of competing factors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds cool. So, yeah, interesting year. I guess we do have a couple of risks out there though. So, end of last year, we saw a slight tweak up on interest rates, particularly in the home loan market. It was unclear if that's like a persistent thing or just a bit of confusion in the financial markets. Geopolitical stuff's continuing to be a bit crazy. And then the other factor that we've got this year is the election. Although our research over prior years has shown that isn't really too much of an issue for the market. Like it sort of gets shrugged off. So, yeah, so 2026 may or may not be the year for the property market, but we're definitely hopeful.
Yeah.
Sam, getting into the weekly sales snapshot, so some recent auction sales, we had a couple on a certain theme. So, mate,
Yes.
What's that theme?
Just picked up a couple auction sales that sold just before Christmas, so that week before Christmas.
Yeah, cool.
I'll start off in the Waikato. I've got 8 Tiwarawara Lane, a rare slice of lifestyle paradise, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms on 6,700 square metres, modern convenience and timeless character, peace and privacy define the setting, with birdsong the soundtrack to daily life. Marketed by Sarah Adams and Matt Scoble from Bayleys Hamilton, and it sold under the hammer at auction for $1.165 million.
Yeah, cool. And then for me, I've got one in Onehunga. So I've got 129A Victoria Street, Onehunga in Auckland, where character meets contemporary living, 3 beds, 1 bath on 447 square metres. Charming villa relocated from Ponsonby, generous light-filled open plan living. This was marketed by Lindy Lawton and Ross Ansis from Bayleys One Tree Hill, sold under the hammer at auction for $1.362,500, and just really cute photos for that property. Next up, just going offshore for the week. So got a cool little video out of CNBC in the States, and this is looking at why retail brands are increasingly putting coffee shops in store, and talked about a bunch of different brands, but some recent ones have been Uniqlo, Coach, and various fashion labels. And basically what it looks at is this is not like a new concept. Like I think in the 1990s we had coffee shops at like Barnes & Noble in the States, but it is expanding. And the reason for that is to basically create more of this lifestyle hub for consumers. But a lot of these brands have been finding that when they chuck a coffee shop in a store, they actually get a lot more sales out of their customers. And there was this guy from Coach basically talking about how they've had like quite a significant uplift in sales where they've chucked a coffee shop in store. And it also talked about younger consumers. So you might have some of the really young consumers who don't have the money to buy like a handbag, but they will buy like an expensive coffee and sort of associate with the brand that way.
Right.
So yeah, cute little video to have a look at. And then finally, we've got property of the week. And Sam, you're in the Bay of Plenty this week.
Yep, I've got 191 Pillans Road in Pillans Point, where character charm meets contemporary lifestyle, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms on just under 1,800 square metres. It's a 1-level early 1900s character home which has been enjoyed by the same family for 120 years, so a rare opportunity to secure a landmark property. If you're interested, get in touch with Gavin Perry from Bayleys Tauranga.
Cool. And then for me, I'm down in Christchurch, so I've got 4A bar 66 Oxford Terrace. Riverview City Ease. It's a 2-bed, 2-bathroom apartment in the Oxford. Nice elevated position within Christchurch, and it's one of Christchurch's most admired addresses with an outlook squarely over the Avon River. So if you want to learn more about this one, contact Adam Haswood from Bayleys Mirabale. With that said, we'll wrap things up. So thanks very much for watching. Cheers, Sam.
Thanks, Chris.
Sweet, and we'll see you guys next week. Ta.
Yeah.